Hey, everybody. Um, Something was flickering down there. Sorry. Uh, I don't know how many people we're going to have in here. The bad news is nobody from the movie, I guess, is either interested or even check their messages on Facebook. I'm sorry for the background noise. If you hear it in the background, Steve is watching something, and I try to minimize the background, if but if I shut that sliding door, it gets just entirely too hot back here right now. Um, so hopefully the sound won't be too loud. Steve was watching some kind of animated Babylon 5 something or other. I think that's what he's still watching. Um, but anyway, the other bad news is for anybody that saw the comment on my video from last night, which was a challenge to CK and Uncle Bill about coming on here live on the stream with me. CK's already explained in the comment that he didn't know about Uncle Bill, but he was working today and then was going to be tied up with family stuff later on. So, unfortunately, I don't think we'll see him tonight either. I was hoping to make this a big thing, but life happens. So, um, I'll just have to do the best I can. If I'm the only idiot on here tonight talking about this movie, then I guess so be it. Worse things could have happened. So I'm going to do the best I can to keep everybody entertained. I know Dirk and Darren and anybody else that they're having on their show tonight are probably already are still doing the show, rather, I should say. And there might be other things going on. I'm a loser. I don't keep up with the goings on of the world, so there could be other fantastical things happening that people are involved in. I don't keep up with wrestling. I don't keep up with all this other stuff, so I don't have any clue what is going on. Don't see anybody chatting, but of course, I'll go through my run of the mill housekeeping stuff and things like that. And who knows? Maybe Uncle Bill will show up. He's got his new laptop. I do know that they were doing the claim sale thing today on Instagram or whatever, so he could be tied up with that. I haven't a clue. He could be tied up with family things as well, or there might be something going on the Dead Pit channel that he's doing. You know, but I promise I'm going to quit rambling and get to some interesting stuff, or hopefully some interesting stuff in here. So a little bit of the housekeeping stuff. I do have a link to join me live on the stream if anybody wants to at any point in time during the movie, barring it not being 30 seconds before the movie is over. I also have a link to the movie on YouTube. That's probably going to be your best bet to be able to watch it. Unless you've got a VHS and a working VCR and have got it hooked up next to your computer, or you're watching this on your phone or whatever, and you can just sit back in your living room and watch it there. I don't know, but I did find the link. It's not. Don't expect this to be exceptional quality because, as far as I know, a VHS and VHS rips are all that are out there for this movie. As far as I know, this movie has never gotten a DVD release, not even overseas, and definitely not a Blu-ray, and especially not a 4K. And I don't know if it ever will see a proper release. So, other than old VHS. And I do have the old VHS, but it's packed away somewhere. I don't know exactly where it's at this moment. And who knows? It could not even be here at this house. It could be at my mom and dad's house. There's still some things of mine that are still floating around in my mom and dad's house after 10 years of marriage to Steve. My parents has still got some of my junk. So I can't really get it out and show you anything. So um, that's a little bit of the housekeeping stuff. I do have some stuff to show during the daily grindhouse. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and kick this daily grindhouse off. And then I guess I'll blab for a few more minutes, give enough people time to be in here. It's kind of fluctuating between about 3 and 5 people. Again, my regulars must not be in here because nobody's chatting, blissful, unseen, people like that. They usually are here for the different things. Now, I know that Blissful did send me a message earlier in the day. So who knows? She may have told me that she wouldn't be able to make it tonight. I just hadn't had a chance to listen to that. So anyway, let's kick off this daily grindhouse real quick, and then I'm going to show a few things and blab a little bit more, and then we'll get this movie started for however many of you are here. So here we go. All right. So the first things I'm going to show, and I've already asked Steve if it's okay if I show these things, because these things are things that he got me from Temu, or Temu, however you pronounce it. I pronounce it Temu. I might be pronouncing it wrongly. I don't know. But I did ask Steve if it was okay if I showed him, because he did a video. Well, actually, he did a video last night to put out there today. And for some reason, he said the video quality didn't look good, and it cut off at the end of the video. He was using not StreamYard, but he was using OBS. I don't know what was going on there, but anyway, he's got a fresh new video that he did. I am not on that video. I was on the one from last night, but that's neither here nor there. But anyway, I want to show a couple of things that he got me. So one, I think this is really nifty. This is an Overlook Hotel room 237 key chain. And it says the Overlook Hotel, Sidewinder, Colorado, 237. Then it's got, you've seen these things. If you find this key, you can drop it in any mailbox and they'll make sure it gets back to where it's going. Also on the back, it says, come and play with us since 1907, which I think is pretty cool as well. I was under the impression at first about Temu that it was kind of a rip-off thing, that they were going to sell you a bunch of cheap junk, basically. And I'm not saying some of the things might not work as well as we would hope, but some things are pretty cool. This other thing that Steve got me is, of course, that looks like Jack Torrance's face from The Shining when he pushes his head through the crack in the door that he's made with the axe in The Shining and says, "Here's Johnny." So this is made to put between two books on a bookshelf, so it looks like he's kind of pushing his face through your books, essentially. I actually want to paint this because you can get flesh colored paint, and you can also get other colors of paint that are to paint on ceramics and other stuff that I think, hey, Blissful, that I think will work on this. Steve was like, I don't know if I'd paint it. I ain't seen anybody paint it, but I think that would make it look so much cooler if I was to paint it. I've actually got a picture of Jack Torrance, or Jack Nicholson, from The Shining in this pose so that I could get the colors right. So that may be forthcoming. If I do end up painting it, I'll be sure to show this off. And also, I'm waiting to put this on the shelf of my Stephen King books. I said, wouldn't it be really cool to have it sandwiched between The Shining and a book that came after The Shining? Uh, I just thought that would be cool. That was my idea. Um, Yeah, exactly, Bliss. We'll get a clear sealer and I'll be good to go. I'm glad you said something about a clear sealer because I hadn't actually thought about putting a sealer on there, but that, yeah, that would be good. So I'll make sure I get that. Also, when I was looking for flesh colored paint, I actually found these markers or pens or whatever you want to call them that actually had paint in them, and hey, unseen, and they're made to paint this kind of stuff, and you can get like brush like tips on them. And I thought that would be so awesome. It would allow me to get a lot of detail and stuff like that because I'm not the steadiest hand when it comes to painting. So I think I am going to try that just to make him a little more unique than just this white face, because I mean it looks cool like that. I just personally want to add a little color to it. Um, and I don't think I'm going to mess it up. I mean, this little dude's pretty detailed. And put like brown where his beard is here up here, where he's got a little hair on his upper lip. Uh, you know, do do some coloring where the hair is sliding down his forehead and over on the back here and all that. But anyway, did want to show those things. Bliss, what you say you used to love painting ceramics? Yeah, I love painting stuff. I've still got an owl actually that I need to paint. But so you say it's too minimalist, you need character. Yeah, and that's the thing I was thinking. Most of the people that show these off, they haven't done any painting to them. They just merely have the white. And that's what Steve was saying. Oh, I haven't seen anybody do, oh, the eyebrows too is something that I could color in. Um, but just because nobody else has done it doesn't mean I shouldn't try it. What's the worst that could happen? I mean, if I was trying to like make my own like mold of this, then it might be a disaster. But since I already got something to work with that's got a good form and stuff, sorry guys, but I'm exactly like you, Blissful. I think it will give it character and make it more unique. And then when I got it painted, I thought about maybe doing a YouTube video and saying, look what you can do if you get this guy from Timu, then you can, if you feel comfortable with it, you can go in and paint it. Maybe give some people some ideas. But so you say, be creative. It's so soothing. Exactly. That's something that does relax me is being creative and working on something. It gives me time to just kind of chill out a little bit. Something that I wasn't planning on showing, but I will anyway. Oh man, thank you, TJ. God bless you, buddy. He's going to be on here with me for this, so I don't have to go it alone. Oh man. If there's nobody else on the planet that will join me, I can always count on TJ, unless, he's got a family thing going on or something like that. But it looks like he's eating some French fries or something. But I'm going to add TJ here in just a little bit. But for those of you that feel like you've got carpal tunnel coming on, or uh, you do a lot of work at the computer anyway, and your wrist just screams at the end of the day because you've been using a mouse for so long. Okay, so Steve was telling me about these ergonomic mice. And so I ended up getting me one. This is a J-Tech digital one. And it's got a palm rest and everything. And I've been learning or, teaching myself how to use it because I'm going to use it for work. Because I'll tell you, the day that me and one other guy on the help desk were putting in 38 new people into 9 URLs, we had to get credentials set up for 38 people in these URLs, and we were about to die by the time we split them up between the two of us. We were still about ready to die. My hand felt like it was going to literally fall off. So I can just tell. Oops, and the thing about this is you got to be real careful with the palm rest because it'll fall off unless you're keeping it on a mouse pad or something. So it's just more natural to hold your hand this way. Steve's back there. It's more natural to hold your hand like this than it is to hold it like this for long periods of time. So just wanted to show that, and I'll have to put the palm rest back on it here in a second or later. So the only other thing I wanted to show is I just got the Blu-ray in. I've had a DVD for the longest time of Dolores Claiborne, and I don't know what Steve's waving back there. But I've had a DVD of this for the longest time, and I guess held off getting. I showed him. Steve's going to show my Jack Torrance that he got me from Temu off again. But I finally took the plunge and got it on Blu-ray. Now, keep in mind, this does say archive collection. Again, I don't know why some of these movies, Warner Brothers just puts them out in a Warner archive collection. Like, I don't know if they think they're not going to sell or what the deal is, because I guess Warner Archive is still doing them like on a made to order basis. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, if anybody knows different.
It's not made to order.
It's not made to order anymore. Then why are they doing it?
I don't know.
Okay. Steve doesn't know. But he said they're not made to order anymore. So, I mean, they're definitely not cheaper because, I think I paid like $21 or something like that for this one. But anyways, I don't know why they're doing it. But anyway, I got my own copy of Dolores Claiborne on Blu-ray. Bliss, will you say you have a mouse like that? Yeah, it does look like a little shoe. And Blissful says hi to Steve. Did you hear C say hello from back there? So I'm going to go ahead and add TJ because we're going to get this movie started here in a little bit. So, hey, TJ, or the clowning. He's even got it. Is that a Terrifier? Is that Art the Clown back there?
Yep, it's VHS.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
From Winter Entertainment, they put out VHSs of certain movies. Everybody should go buy from their website because I have a friend who helps them out. So.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Do they have Terrifier 2? Because Dirk will be all over that.
I think they do. Or they're coming out with it, one of those two. They did like the cereal box.
Oh yeah.
I think they did one. Yeah, and yeah. I finally watched Terrifier 2 last week.
So what was your thoughts on it?
It was good. It could have been edited a little bit. It was a bit long.
A little bit long.
They added a lot more like plot than they did the first movie, which I liked. You actually learned about the characters. They just weren't like they're partying and then they get killed.
Did you think that any of the effects were like overkill? Or do you think it was just right? Okay.
I mean, I was expecting it to be extra than the first one, so I mean, no, why did you think it was too much?
Well, I couldn't believe it though, but Steve and I, after we watched it, we looked at each other and we both said that was overkill. And for Steve to say it, that's usually Steve is like getting on me for saying something's like too much or whatever. But no, we had the same kind of reaction. So I don't know if we're getting particular in our old age or what's going on there. I don't know. Oh, and I did want to bring up, since TJ was talking about watching Terrifier 2, this isn't Terrifier related, but I remembered now that I watched a movie this afternoon that Stuntman Mark had recommended, Cobweb. Me and Steve watched that this afternoon. We didn't go to the movies and see it. We watched it at home. Shh, don't tell anybody. But anyway, so I could recommend that movie. There were a couple of parts in it that I was like, but for the most part, I thought the atmosphere was great. It had, it seemed to be like an atmosphere to me of the original Halloween, like with the old houses and just the way it was shot and whatever tent they used, like I don't know if they used like a blue tent or what, but it was supposed to be around Halloween time and yeah, like TJ's. But it looked very fall like. And I know Halloween wasn't filmed in the fall because they actually had to spray paint leaves and throw them around in the different shots and stuff. But it did have that look, and it it was refreshing to see a movie like that, because to me it seemed different than a lot of the new stuff that's been coming out here recently, and so I really enjoyed it, despite the fact that there were a couple of scenes where I was like, I don't know, that's kind of falling back on the newer stuff. But for the most part, it was a creepy little film. It wasn't too long. It wasn't like you were dealing with like 2.5, 3 hour long movie. Um, and so if you are, I wouldn't recommend a kid watch it that has fears of things in the walls, things in the closet, things under the bed, all that stuff. Maybe not let your kid watch it if they're like that, unless you want them sleeping
So,
between you and your spouse.
is that pretty much covered every base that kids are afraid of?
Yeah, I mean, and it does have I guess you could call it a creature. I'm not going to give too much away because I don't know how many people have seen this movie just yet. Um, but it has a cool looking creature. It's one of those cases where they let you get little snippets of it, and then towards the end, you really get to see it. But that's all I'm going to say about it. But neat little movie. If you do get a chance to watch it, I would recommend it. So, so again, I don't know if Uncle Bill's going to make an appearance. He really don't have any excuse because he's got that damn new laptop. And, no more is he going to be having to deal with that Chromebook and all that. But like I said, CK's already let me know that he's got family duties and work duties, and so he won't be able to come in live unless he surprises us later. I don't know. You never know with CK. So
To quote them from their stream, they were like, "We ain't gonna be watching that movie."
we ain't watching that shit.
I was watching a review from CK from like 2010, and he described it as you take black roses, give it shit, and then
Exactly. Yeah,
that's Black Rose. That's Terror on Tour.
that was actually his video response to me. I did a few videos on my old channel called The Great Horror Film Debate. And I talked about that and talked about why I liked it and the good points about it and stuff. And then, of course, CK came back with his creepy, crappy movie reviews, and he talked about it being shit. So I'm not going to say it's Citizen Kane or anything like that. It's just, I don't know. It's just to me, it's a fun little horror movie. And maybe I'll change some people's minds tonight. Maybe not. I don't know. But I'm going to do the best I can. And I want to thank TJ again for coming in on this live. He's probably going to regret it about partway through this movie. He's going to say, God, why did I do that? You got alcohol, Mike?
Yeah,
What kind of alcohol you got?
it's just wine because I didn't have anything else. I was out of beer, so
Red wine or white wine?
red. It's a horror movie.
There you go. See,
Pairs
he
well
had the right idea.
with horror movie.
Okay, let me ask you this. Is it sweet or dry?
It's a Cabernet Sauv blend,
Okay.
and
I use
I got a root beer too, and I had my not anything clown related, so I got my Pennywise cup. So
there you go. That works. That works.
and I got my Headbangers Ball shirt since we're doing a.
There you go. See, TJ's always prepared. Always prepared. All right. So, how many people? We got 8 people in here now. Well, probably 7 because
One's me, yeah.
yeah. One's TJ. Um. So, unseen, blissful. Anybody else that are? Let me know if you're going to be watching it because we are using the and I suspect TJ is going to be using the YouTube link as well.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all she wrote on that. Like I said, unless you've got the old VHS and you've got a working VCR and all that stuff. So TJ is covering all the themes, blissful.
Yeah, I don't know what generation this copy is here, but
It's probably 3rd or 4th generation copy.
or digital. Can't people do a direct VHS if they have it? Maybe I don't know. Maybe you're the only one that has one.
Okay, so I actually have this queued up where it says Sandy Cobe presents. So if that will help people get synced up. Blissful says, I'm cooking supper due to procrastination. Okay. Well, we'll try to keep you entertained, Blissful, while you're cooking.
Do a dance.
And Unseen says, following your commentary. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started in about another minute or so, just in case.
I won't.
What's that, TJ?
I said, I'll give you the truth. I won't sugarcoat it because Dana's already biased towards this movie. So.
There you go. You'll get 2 things. You get my take on it. You'll get TJ's take on it. The unfiltered.
Before, but I don't remember anything about it except maybe what I looked at earlier, fast forwarding through the copy to see how it looked.
Yeah. So TJ, what's been going on with you? Because we didn't have our Wednesday.
I know.
Wednesday
I
stream.
canceled this time. It was you this time.
Yeah, because I was just wiped out, and I don't do that very often.
On the message, I was like, "Yeah, get some rest and don't push yourself."
Yeah, well, that was after we did those. That was after we did those 38 people that we put in all those URLs. So. All right,
it's going to give you more time to you can't go. Well, there's gaps, and I didn't remember that. You got to watch. You better have seen every episode. So
yeah, TJ's going to get me if I didn't. He's going to call me out. All right, so it is 7:32. So let's go ahead and do the 3, 2, 1 and hit play on here for those of you that are watching. If anybody comes in here later needs a timestamp, I'm sure me or TJ one will be glad to give you one. All right, so here we go. 3, 2, 1. Press play. It's blurry vision.
yes,
That hurts my eyes. Okay.
it's Gene Simmons and Gene Simmons.
It's bootleg Gene Simmons. But actually, this band is a real band called The Names. And so they were going to have actors play the parts of the clowns, the band, the clowns. You see original music by The Names. And then I guess somebody just decided, why the hell are we doing that? Just put the band in there. And they can play the band in the movie.
What is that girl dancing doing? Is that dancing?
I don't know.
Is there cockroaches she's trying to kill on the stage?
Yeah, it does look. Uh,
All right, I already need this.
so the music of the names, though, I have actually listened to music that was not used in this movie. And to be totally honest, I think the music is okay in this, but I like what the names originally did, because their music was pretty much nothing like this.
Did they dress up as clowns for their real?
No, no, they were just look like normal guys.
Oh, there's slam dancing. Oh, there's a mannequin. Oh, they broke its arm off.
And if you've got a sharp eye,
Oh,
if you've got a sharp eye, you will see uh, John Wintergate or whatever his real name is from Boarding House in the audience. And you also see him later on in the party scene. There's Larry Thomas there, peeking, not there, but the guy peeking his head into the room is Larry Thomas. There he is. And what is he? Other than being in this movie, he is the soup Nazi from Seinfeld.
oh really? Oh,
Hmm.
he looks a lot younger without the mustache.
Yeah, exactly. But I think TJ, didn't they have to change his name to the soup Nazi because soup Nazi was not kosher or
Did
something?
they? I don't know.
I think that's what
I haven't
Steve
watched
told
Seinfeld since it was on.
me.
I'll see a clip every once in a while, and I'll be like, "Oh, my fiance! Does anybody see my fiance?" I like that.
Mhm.
And Elaine dancing. I want to see if I can hook through my headphones because I can't really judge this movie if I don't know what the hell I'm watching.
Well, I've seen this movie so many damn times that I don't even need the audio at all.
I got a new webcam. I don't know if it can record when I have my headphones hooked in. So let's see what happens.
Oh, okay. So I'm trying to keep, usually I've been putting a Blu-ray in to watch these movies. Of course, there is no Blu-ray, there is no DVD for this. So I have found when I'm doing something on StreamYard and I switch back and forth between the movie on YouTube or Tubi or wherever it's at and switch back to StreamYard, that somehow it gets me way behind everybody else.
Ah,
So I'll try to switch back and forth. But TJ, if you're looking at it and you see somebody, either asking for a timestamp or comes in live down there, or somebody says in the chat they're going to come backstage, because you probably can't see them backstage, probably only I can.
yeah, only you can.
Um, so if you see somebody come in and say, "Hey, I want to come in there," just let me know and I'll switch back so I can add them.
Will do.
The guy in the white shirt there on the left, I always thought he looked like oh, shoot, not Kurt Russell,
No.
the other guy, the other guy. I'll think of it here. But I hate to say this though, but the guy that plays Herb there, the guy that has the clown, he's trying to imitate the clown's makeup. Um, he always looked like Mark David Chapman to me, the guy that shot John Lennon. And I've said that every time I watch this movie. And there is Sandy Cobb, um, there talking to Larry Thomas. And Sandy Cobb was like producer on a bunch of these low budget films way back when. And I did an interview with Larry Thomas like back when I was doing my blood type fanzine. And he said that he was so nervous. Like this was his first, I guess, big acting gig. And so he says he's embarrassed with his acting. And he said also, I don't know if it was that scene there where he was talking to Sandy Cole, but it's one of those scenes where they're talking. And he said they told him beforehand that there would be loud music playing. And so he's really, really loud in the scene that's there's John Wintergate, by the way, in those pink pants.
Of course.
Uh, but he said, so it sounds like he's just screaming at Sandy Cobe in the scene because there's no loud music that's playing.
This scene is very inspired by Phantom of the Paradise. It's got to be. It's so close to that. They're ripping the body parts off the person and the way they're dressed. And this is very like, I watched Phantom of the Paradise. We can make that one scene in the movie. We're going to make a whole movie out of that one scene.
So here's a typical thing of getting drugs for members of the band. You always got to have a middleman guy that gets your drugs, right? So
it's called a roadie.
Exactly. That's one of the duties of the roadie is to get drugs for somebody who needs it. But this girl is so stupid here because he tells her that I got 50 and she gives him the drugs and she wants 100. And he says, you stay right here. I'm going to go back and get another 50 and I'll bring it back. She stupidly hands him the drugs and he goes back in there. And what does he do when he gets back inside here? He's like, I hope you don't get cold out there because $50 is all I got tonight.
He has such an honest face. I'm surprised.
Now, here's something else this movie has. It's a lot of shot. I ain't gonna lie. There are a lot of these dark and muddy shots of somebody that looks like one of the members of the Clowns walking through very dark hallways. It's probably all coming back to TJ now. He's like, oh my God, why am I watching this movie again?
I like the music. So that's the only thing I like about this.
And actually, speaking of Larry Thomas, he would have liked to have been here live on the stream to talk about it, but he's at a party where he's the guest of honor, I guess. Oh, and she just got stabbed.
Her face is like, it's like she's not the girl from Chopping Mall, is she? She looks just like the one who gets her head blown off.
Oh, I didn't ever think about that. I don't think so.
She looks like her.
It'd be worth looking up. I mean, it's entirely possible.
Oh, I'm looking it up now.
Now, if anybody wants to listen to an interview with any of the members of the band here, you can't really see the guy very good, but he's up near the top of the steps up there with the kind of the afro. That's Dave Galuzzo. And the Hysteria Continues podcast, they did a whole show on Terror on Tour, I believe, at one time, and they interviewed Dave Galuzzo.
It is not her, but it looks a lot like her.
Mm-hmm. And that guy on the left in the blue is Chip, I think Greenman is his name. And when I did that Great Horror Film Debate where I talked about Terror on Tour, he actually messaged me way back when on YouTube and said he appreciated the nice words. He said he was the drummer in the band and all that. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, you can't even judge like the camera work or the cinematography because the copy of this is so bad.
Yeah. And there's a Dave Galuzzo that just shook Larry Thomas's hand there.
He just looked at the camera.
Yeah. But, in all honesty, I think the guys in the band who are not real actors anyway are better than the women in here. These women in this movie are so awful. I can admit to that.
Well, so far that one girl was terrible.
Yeah. Wait till you
Te-
get to the groupies, at the party. Then you talk about some shitty acting.
Now I know what the terror is, the acting. Never say that in a horror movie.
Yeah,
You're not getting out alive. Nope.
so here's another scene between Sandy Cobb and Larry Thomas here.
You can tell he's not an actor.
Now, Sandy Cobb was primarily a producer, but sometimes producers are able to get their way into a film. It's like, I'm giving you all this money, let me in the film.
Or if you own a hotel and you're a rich businessman and it's Home Alone 2 and you want to be in the movie.
Oh, she's just taking a nap. It's okay.
Oh my God, the girl is dead.
I think the guys playing the cops in this movie are better actors than the women, too. I mean, nobody is as bad as the women in this movie.
Except for the dead girl. There's some violence.
Well, there is one girl that I don't think is too bad, but she hasn't made an appearance yet. I'll talk about her when she shows up.
So far, that dancer girl was terrible, and then the girl at the door was bad.
Mm,
I think you have a 2-minute scene, you could make it better than. Oop, cat ran across the piano.
okay, so the drummer we're gonna find out he's Ralph, the drummer. He's the one with the major drug problem, as we can see here. He's scattering these white pills all over his waterbed.
Like when you're balding up in front and you comb your hair to make it look like you're not balding in front.
Now, I'm not saying that these guys are perfect in their acting, but again, they're still better than the women. Actually, Larry Thomas also told me that the guy that played Herb, the other roadie, uh, that Larry Thomas thought he was the best actor in the film, and he said he doesn't know what happened to that guy.
Yeah. Surprised Elvira never found this for movie Macabre back in the day. This would have been
Yeah,
perfect for her
that's
show. It was the same around the time that it would have been.
hmm I don't know. It's like nobody wants to touch this movie.
I guess not.
But some people have brought up the reason why this may not have gotten a release yet, a proper release other than VHS, is because of music rights. But come on, the music is done by the names. The names haven't been a band in years. Um, and I just don't get the idea that they would be asking astronomical amounts for their music.
Maybe they can't find them.
Well, the thing is, Dave Galuzzo's on Facebook.
Yeah. Maybe
Uh,
he doesn't have ownership of the songs.
maybe it's publishing company's got it.
Yeah, it's a
I
public.
guess
Who
that's a
wrote them? He might not have written
possibility.
anything, or the ones in the movie he might not have written. So, yeah, there could be any number of reasons why not.
because it couldn't be that people think this movie's so awful it shouldn't get a release. Come on, Vinegar Syndrome,
Vinegar
Severn, all these places they put out, like, I've seen worse stuff than Terror on Tour. Honestly, I have. That gets a release, that gets 4K releases even, and everybody acts like this movie's a pariah or something.
I don't know, like this shot, like even when it was clear, I still think it's a bad shot because he's like in the dark. I mean, and they're outside.
Yeah. No, I didn't say the cinematography was good. But like, and correct me if I'm wrong, TJ, or anybody else in the chat, but like, I'm not trying to pick on like CK and Uncle Bill, but CK will champion something like The Forest, and I can't even get through that movie. I have yet to get through that movie and not fall asleep. I can stay awake during this movie.
I like the forest.
That's
so
okay. It's
so
okay if you
so it
like
can't
it.
go by me.
I'm just saying, CK puts this movie down and like ridicules me, like in a a fun way. I'm not saying he's hurt my feelings or anything. I could give a shit less if people don't like this movie, but they'll champion something like The Forest. I just don't get it. Oh, doing the nose candy. I think you will see John Wintergate in this scene as well. Him and his partner, wife, whatever, the girl that had I think that's her there, that was in that kind of flowery pink shirt. Clasu or whatever the heck the name she went by when she had the music career. Now, just if you have the audio going at least a little bit, you can tell how bad these actresses are. There's going to be a scene coming up where this girl is completely naked, and
Oh,
she says, "Oh," she said, "come on over here, baby." She says that cocaine made me horny. I mean, like, come on. I
well,
mean,
that's the
some of,
dialogue's fault, not her.
yeah, but the way she delivered it is bad too. You'll see when we get to
Well,
it.
a good director can get a performance out of a rock, but did you interview the director too, or just the actors?
No, Don Edmonds was the director of this masterpiece. And as far as I know, Don Edmonds probably would have told you to go fuck yourself if you asked him about this movie. He did not ever want to talk about this movie.
Why the hell did he direct it then?
Uh, I guess it was just whatever came along at that time. He would rather talk about Ilsa She Wolf of the SS than talk about this movie.
Well, he played Buzz on the Gidget TV show.
And of course, nobody can talk to Don Edmonds now because he's since passed away, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. He did the Ilsa movies. Oh, okay. I see.
Hmm.
Yeah, I heard. I remember the commentaries for that. It was Diane Thorne and him were doing commentaries on them.
Yeah, he would talk about those movies all day long, but
Well, those are good
heaven,
movies.
heaven forbid somebody say something about this movie.
I mean, he directed an episode of Silk Stockings. I mean, come on.
And he didn't direct it, I don't think, but he was in Home Sweet Home. He was actually acting in that one. I think he might have produced it, but I don't think he directed it.
Yeah, he produced it. He produced Beyond Evil and
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
co-produced True Romance.
Yeah.
That's an actual movie.
Yep. Yep, it is.
Skeeter.
It's a sharp looking knife there. Okay, so this girl here that's on the bed, she's one of the worst. I agree. Some of these low budget slasher movies, the dialogue's not that great, but sometimes you have actors and actresses that can at least deliver or make a passable delivery of the dialogue, and these chicks don't even try. Just this girl's like, "Are you gonna tie me up and do it to me?" It's like,
At least she remembers her lines.
yeah. I've seen movies where they blow their lines all over the place. Um,
I mean, it's hard to say lines and then move like she's moving. She just looked at the camera.
yeah,
These people
everybody
looking at the
just look at
camera annoys me.
the And I remember one of the commentaries me and Steve did. I was like, "What is she doing on that bed? What is she doing? Yoga or something? The way she's
She's trying to be sexy and turn him
it
on.
ain't working. Well, it ain't. I mean, I guess it's working for him, but I think this guy. I would be afraid this guy would have. Excuse me for saying it this crudely, but I would be afraid he'd have whiskey dick.
Well, she's 60 now, so I don't really. This doesn't turn me on. Thinking about how old she is now.
Oh, here is the chick. This is the I think she may be called Cocaine Girl or something like that in the
Is that her
credits.
character?
She's the one that'll say that, oh, that cocaine made me horny. I think she would be a lot more like if she was on. I've never had cocaine, so I can't say for sure, but I would think that she'd be more animated on cocaine.
Well, I like that there's finally a close up. Because these last two scenes, I thought it was going to be all establishing shot. Like, I was like, come on, really? Move in the camera or something.
And that girl looks like she's been lifting weights or something. That one on the left.
Well, I don't see anything wrong with her, but okay.
She's all right, but and I don't know why they needed an establishing shot of that guy zipping his fly, but whatever. And what is he taking out of his teeth there? Get some of her hair in his
I
teeth
don't
or
know.
something? Oh, and here, like I told you, the guys are a lot better at acting, I think. But I think when this other member of the clown sits down there with these two girls, I think he says something like "double my pleasure." That's kind of corny. Again, that's dialogue problems, but there
Well,
she
so
is.
there we go. So far, this is boring as hell. This movie.
That's okay, TJ. Yeah, I want people to be honest with it.
I mean, I want you like it so much. I want to like it, but it's like I haven't seen anything good so far. Well, those are okay. Other than that, I haven't seen anything good so far.
Can you see them pretty good, TJ?
I
I
mean,
love the
yeah, I mean, good
viewings.
enough. I mean, this fourth generation, fifth generation
Yes,
copy of the movie.
I would love to see how it would look if somebody would clean it up even just a little bit.
If knives weren't shiny, you wouldn't see this knife at all.
Now, Steve was able to download a copy. I don't know where he got it, but that is an exceptional print compared to the ones you find on YouTube. But I
Yeah.
was afraid that even though this is not like a widely well known movie by any stretch of the imagination, I was afraid if I tried to stream it, the version Steve has, that something would happen and I'd get, a copyright strike of some sort.
Well, you can't even like make it private because it's still technically
Mm-hmm.
can be look found and bye, Brian.
Is there anything going on in the chat, TJ, that I should respond to or anything?
Brian King just left. He had something to do. Um,
He didn't want to tell us. This is boring as shit. I'm getting out of here.
he said he can't focus at the moment. So
Mm. I know
Blissful and
he.
Unseen are talking about bombs and peen. I don't know what that's all about.
I have no idea. Whatever you got to do to keep yourself awake, I guess. I've done a total of 3 different commentaries with Steve for this movie.
And maybe stop there.
And the first one we did, I was drunk as shit.
uh,
That was the one where when we got to the end credits and it had something about f stop, which has to do with the camera, I think. I said, f stop means fuck stop. That's how wasted I was.
hope the wow wow is back.
And this on YouTube, this version of Terror on Tour has had 997 views. And it's been on here for 4 years.
That many
That's
people
more
went, wow. What is this
that
crap?
that's more views than a lot of my videos have gotten. Ah, there you go. We're getting a little bit of a visceral experience
She
now.
died so dramatically. She was like,
Just fall over. There's a John Wintergate again. You can see those pink pants. You can't really make much out of his face there, but
have you seen his IMDb photo? Looks like he's a guru of a cult that's about to make everybody drink the Kool-Aid. Yeah.
yeah, I think that might be a scene from Boarding House if I'm thinking right. Or maybe not, but that guy just looks weird. He looks like he could be a cult leader.
She seems to be filmed totally separate from everybody else.
Yeah. If I was like smoking pot and or drinking or whatever, I would like to hope that I would not look that foolish. But I probably would. But I hope I wouldn't be going around topless.
There's not even any suspense in this. I'm sorry. This is just like
It's TJ. I don't mind people's honest opinions. At least you're sitting here watching it with me, so I don't have to watch it by myself.
I'm actually confused. Is it the same guy killing everybody, or is it the whole band?
No, it's the same guy.
Okay. Her acting is so terrible. It's
Yeah, I'm gonna die now. Ugh.
yeah. He looks like the home sweet home guy. No wonder why they look like that. This is like a
Yeah,
that was an homage to this movie, I guess.
maybe you talking about Mistake
Yeah.
and his makeup. One thing, and I'm going to be doing a commentary closer to Thanksgiving or a watch along. There's John Wintergate again. A watch along for Home Sweet Home closer to Thanksgiving. I could never figure out how those family members fit together. They were having Thanksgiving dinner, and I don't know who Mistake belonged to. I don't know if he was a long lost nephew or something, or
I thought
where
he's
he
one.
came
I thought
from.
he's the brother. I guess. I mean,
Is he a brother? Okay, well,
at least
I
that's
could
what I
never figure
remember.
that out.
Yeah, his name is Mistake because it's a reference to this movie. Making that movie was a mistake.
And this guy had to be on drugs or something. I mean, like, I'm not saying the real guy was on drugs, but he looks and he sees these bloody stockings or bloody toilet paper or whatever it is, and also finds bodies in the bathroom stalls, and he just kind of stares at them, just blankly stares at them. Okay, so he sees this blood, and he just kind of looks at it, and he sees
And kids.
feet, and then he opens it up, and he just has this blank look on his face. He doesn't scream or anything.
Isn't it 9 to 5 where the maid, the cleaning woman comes into the bathroom and she goes, "We get another stiff in the John." Is that from that movie?
It may be. It's been a while since I've seen that movie.
Oh, that has a good marijuana scene. That's a great.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it because I think I've got the DVD of that.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking of a good movie while I'm watching this one.
That's okay.
Listen,
What is that guy drinking? Coca Cola? I think they're trying not to have product placement because Coca Cola probably said, we didn't give you permission to show that can.
it's a red can. I can't really.
Mm,
It's not an energy drink because this is 1980. Those didn't
right.
exist.
No, they don't need energy drinks. They got a lot of cocaine. So I find this scene funny because, the cops are there. They're asking them about the groupies that they were hanging out with. And he's saying that what was her name? And he's like, I don't know her name. And he said, you were alone in a room with a girl and you don't even remember her name. And he's like, why would I need to remember her name for? So essentially, they're just saying, we just screw them and forget about them, basically.
That cop's from the 60s. You should remember that. That's what you did back then.
I want a shirt like Cherry, Dave Galuzzo's character, that Maniac shirt. I want one like that.
Is that what that says, Maniac?
Hmm.
I was gonna dress up as the Maniac poster one Halloween. Then I saw someone people have already done it. And I was like, oh, forget it.
Have they really?
I've seen a bunch of people with the. Yeah, I've seen some girls do it too.
It seems like Darcy, the mail girl. I think didn't she do something? Didn't she
I think she did one.
pose?
That's. I think she did one too. I think.
But I didn't know a lot of other people had done it.
I saw a girl on Instagram. She recreated like horror movie posters, and she did the Maniac, and the way they showed sort of how she made it happen. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool because she has like
Mhm.
someone stick their head in and have their hair hanging down, and then they edited it so it looked like it was just the hair. And I was like, oh, that's
Oh,
a
that's
cool.
neat. Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, oh, well, everybody's done that. No, I'm not gonna do that again. I did the tarantula guy from the Beyond. That no one's done that before.
Yeah, that was awesome, TJ. I really like that.
I might
There,
be going to a horror con later this year. Maybe I might dress up. I don't know. We'll see.
well, I was gonna go, I think to Horror Hound, but I wanted to meet William Cat and he canceled, so
Ah,
I'm not gonna go now.
there's a local one. Darcy and Joe Bob are gonna go, so I was like, oh, I gotta go to that one.
Oh, that'd be cool. It says the person that's met them like 2 or 3 times already.
Yeah. Well. Scout was gonna go, but she canceled.
Oh,
It's actually funny because she had 2 weekends in a row horror cons in Massachusetts, and she canceled one. I'm gonna guess that it was like a conflict of interest or something because they were too close together, maybe, or
possibly, yeah. That would make sense, I guess.
because I'm like, why would you do two of them? Like she'd have to stay. Like, why would she fly out and then fly back again twice? That's kind
Hmm.
of whatever. But the other one she's going to the second one, and Danielle's going to be at that one, so that makes more sense.
I don't know why, but every time I watch this movie, I try to figure out what their shirts all say. And the quality is so bad that I usually can't tell.
Yeah. WIU? I don't know what that's. Does that stand for something? Because there's some written word there.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe it's a radio station? I don't know.
And I'm trying to read what Ralph, the drummer, has got on his shirt.
Alamo? I can't read what it is.
If we get a proper release of this, maybe I can finally figure out what's on their damn shirts.
I want to guess they're like shirts of like people they knew who owned businesses, and they were like, "Oh, let's get some free advertising for them."
Maybe. Poor Herb. He gets shut down by the women all the time because he says hi to this girl on the bridge, and she stops and she says hi, and he says something else, and she says, "Forget it," and walks away. And he's like, "I only said hi."
She stopped. It's her fault.
Oh, here's another bad acting thing. And why is Ralph's TV always on Poltergeist channel? It's always fuzzy all the time.
Because they couldn't afford anything to show, so they had to just have static.
Mm. And I don't know, is Cherry not getting any action either? The guy with the maniac shirt, because maybe they call him Cherry for a reason. I don't like.
Hey,
Go ahead, TJ. Sorry.
I was gonna say the chat. Stop talking about good movies because it's making me not want to watch this.
Yeah, TJ won't make it through with this one with me. But I was going to say, I don't really need to see Ralph and his tidy whities there, before he got in bed with her. Like
One for the ladies.
This is not really a good sex scene either. If you're looking for good sex scenes, you ain't going to find it in this movie. So Cherry was listening to them having sex, and now Herb has made it back, and Herb is going to be a little pervert and be looking in the window here in a second.
Listen, if I go to my happy place, I won't pay attention to the movie.
Yeah, that's what I do to Steve every night. I run my finger across his forehead and stuff like that. Yeah, that's real sexy.
Don't even kid about that.
I really don't, guys. Yeah.
This music.
This music that's playing is actually used in To All a Good Night. For those of you that have seen To All a Good Night, the David Hess directed Christmas horror film. And Sandy Cobe, I believe, produced that one as well.
It sounds like porn music.
Which is funny because a couple of the actors in To All a Good Night are slow dancing to it, I think. I think that's the one that they're slow dancing.
To this music?
Yeah, I believe so.
Wow. It should be dancing to Feliz Navidad.
Yeah, they probably couldn't afford that. Now, I mean, you can't see what Henry's shirt says there because he's like this tiny little speck there on the stage. But when they show it up close, I believe it says it ain't easy being green, but I don't know if it has Kermit the Frog on it or not.
His jacket's like zippered up, I guess. So I don't think they could have cleared Kermit.
Probably not. I mean, there's something
No, I
there,
liked it.
but
Oh man, no, there's no Kermit on there.
I don't know why. Here's another thing. I don't know why they chose to do these wide shots when you can't really see Larry Thomas and you can't uh, see. I think it's Rich Pemberton or something that plays Henry. Um, I don't know. I don't know why they don't keep these close up shots. They go way out and do a wide shot. That looks like ET on there.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
So, what do you think of Larry Thomas's acting on here, TJ?
Eh, nothing great, nothing bad. I mean,
It's just there.
yeah. It's just kind of a boring plot dump or
Yeah,
dialogue dump.
it's.
It's not really like
I mean, this is not a very long movie. We're 43 minutes in, and this is only an hour and 23 minutes. But for some people, it probably feel like 3 hours. Um, it's a good thing Steve wasn't watching this when he was high on gummies. He would have lost his mind.
yeah. For 43 minutes, nothing's happened. Killed a bunch of girls, and what does it have to do with the story? We haven't learned anything right now.
What I want to know is what is that back there in the corner? What is that statue thing that a jacket or whatever is thrown over? The hell is that?
Can't tell.
Sometimes it looks like Macho Man or something from wrestling. So we're going to get a little, I mean, I guess you could call it insight into what it might have been for the band's manager, Larry Thomas's character, to would have been like with him growing up because evidently he has a very weird mother because I don't know why Herb is snooping around in other people's rooms, but anyway, he's reading this letter that the manager had gotten from his mother, and she's talking
I've
about
written a letter
temptation
to Daddy.
and I think they kind of I think they kind of try to set up Herb as like a red herring of sorts here in a little bit. But
So
it's
this,
obvious it's not Herb that's killing anybody because he's not a real heavy guy, but he's a little bit stockier than whoever we're seeing cruise the halls in those dark shots.
so we're not supposed to know who the killer is. I'm lost on that part.
Theoretically, no.
Even though it's the band's only what 5 guys and they're all dressed the same, but are we supposed to not know it's one of the? Are we supposed to know? Wait, we're supposed to know it's one of the band members, but we're not supposed to know which one. Is that what it is?
Well, I don't want
See
to
how
give
confused
it.
I am? I'm sorry.
I don't. If you want me to give it to you, TJ, I will. But
No,
I
don't
didn't
give it
want.
away. I want to figure. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here.
I'm afraid if I tell you too much, it's gonna
Okay.
ruin the twist, I guess.
If you can't answer me yes or no, then don't bother.
Okay, I'll just be quiet then. So we see this shot of, I guess he took some kind of pills, and I don't know if they look like prescription pills, but of course Ralph had prescription pills too. But Lord knows where he got them. Um,
Well, this music is making me think something's going to happen.
so here's another thing that's going to be weird
Nothing happened. Okay.
with this movie is not right here, but like during the final few shots of the movie, the final concert of the movie, um, you're going to have a, well, he's snorting some nose candy there. Um, you're going to have a guy show up that they put him on homicide or something, but obviously this guy's got some issues. And he's like, he tells the cop, he said, Sergeant, I love homicide. And the guy seems a little bit too happy to be doing it.
You ever fantasize about being killed? I like death. I'm sorry. See, I'm thinking of another good
That's what
movie.
they need. They need Linnea Quigley in here.
Yeah. My friends always make fun of her because she talks so slow a lot of her time. I'm like, that's her character. She's trying to be sexy. Not now because she's like 65 or whatever. So it's him, right? He's the killer.
Nope. I'll just say nope.
Okay, then.
Okay, so here, this girl here is the one that I think if you got all the actresses together in this movie, she would be the best one. And
Okay.
she was also in Home Sweet Home as well.
She looks very 70s.
Yeah, Steve always says that the problem with the like 1980 and 81 and stuff, he says that the way he puts it, there wasn't really any good music at this point in time because everybody was still stuck in the 70s. And so that's why the music was all shitty.
It was always like a couple of years when you have a new decade that they get their own identity.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching an interview from like early 80s, I think, or maybe no, late 80s, and it was the Cramps, and they were talking about how there was no good music in the 80s, and I was like, really?
Well, I wouldn't go that far that there was no good music in the 80s.
Like there was like no good change of music. Yeah, it was all like there was no good rock and roll in the 80s, is what they said. And I was like, really? Okay. Don't tell that to Tina Turner.
Right. So we find out that this girl is a hooker,
Shocked.
and yeah, but she's definitely got hooker hair or stripper hair. She does have beautiful hair, I will say that. She's an attractive girl, but she's gotten busted so many times by the cops that they're, I guess, willing to let her off on some charges if she will go undercover for them. And because the cops are convinced that the killer is one of the band, so they're sending Jane in, I think that's her name in the movie, to try to figure out which one of them it is.
This is like Angel 3. She's an undercover hooker.
Yeah.
Is it not the one where she's undercover? I can't remember. Those are good movies. You should scream. You should do watch along for Angel.
I do like Angel. I don't think I've seen the other ones, but the original one I like.
Yeah, they couldn't get Donna Wiltz back for the sequel, so
Did Betsy Russell play her in
she
one?
was. I forget if she was in 2 or 3. I think it was 2, maybe. Yeah, by the third movie, I'm like, she's too old to be passing off for a young schoolgirl and also a hooker.
Okay, so Jeff is about to get fired here. Jeff is the guy that just walked in the room there with
Yeah, with the
his
orange shirt.
orange shirt.
Great,
Uh,
great clothes.
I know he gets fired here soon, and they kind of set him up to be a red herring as well. And I will agree though that it's late in the game to be trying to set up red herrings at this point because we're almost an
As a
hour in.
filmmaker, I really think they should add something interesting to these shots. It's like, have him put his makeup on so it'll look like something's happening in the scene. I was like, really? And he's rubbing it on the same chin spot for the first 2 minutes of this scene.
And then he's putting it on the other guy.
By the way, not that I hate it, but I always feel it's pretentious. People have watch along channels on the YouTube and it says actor watching movies. I'm like, okay, yeah, okay. Like, your acting opinion is so important there, honey.
It's so valid.
Yeah, director watches movie. Yeah, okay, calm down.
Now, I want my goal is to at some point have either actors, actresses, or a director maybe on one of these watch alongs I do, just to make it. I think it would be more entertaining, especially with these older films, to have them be on here with me and take a look back at the film,
Mm-hmm.
especially if they haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah. Yes, this movie has been so thrilling that we need a scene that makes the movie stop.
What with them singing?
This song, yeah, it's not even it's like such a slow tempo song.
Yeah, and well, I mean, that doesn't explain everything away, but the cop comes in here at the point that he's singing this, and they tell him that this is the music we used to do. And I guess people
Ah,
found that boring and didn't like the band until they started, dressing as the clowns and cutting up mannequins on stage and looking like they're stabbing girls on stage. And
well, they're not that band Extreme who had that slow song that made them famous.
so the cop says, I can't believe I actually heard that.
That's what you want. You want the old cop commenting on your music when you're a hip band.
And this guy says, we used to be pop meisters.
This makes me think of Black Roses, where the band is playing for the school, and all the older people they're
Yes.
like, "Oh, what kind of music are they play?" And then they start with like this slow kind of ballady song, and then
Yeah.
everybody's
And
like,
then
"Okay, it seems okay." And then all the older people leave, and then
everybody
they start
leaves.
playing the real heavy metal music.
And then the kids get their eyes glaze over.
Yeah,
And I think that's what, I don't think that's a stretch. I think that that's how adults felt about that kind of music, rock music in general at that point in time, that they thought that it was, devil worshiping
yeah.
and all kinds of stuff. Um, Not as extreme as it was on Black Roses, where the guys were actually demons.
Well, as the Ramones said, "Oh, Tipper, come on." Tipper Gore, the one who was the champion
Yeah,
for rock music being bad for kids.
yeah,
We
that's
had Tipper Gore, and we had Nancy Reagan saying drugs are bad. That was Mr. Mackey. That wasn't. Drugs are
right.
bad. You shouldn't do drugs. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I always think of.
Woo.
And the girl playing Jane, I actually like her acting a lot better in this than in Home Sweet Home. They have her playing a really goofy kind of ditzy character in
Mhm.
Home Sweet Home, and this is in my opinion, more serious of a character.
Right now she's undercover hooker. So undercover hooker. That sounds like a good title for a song.
Yeah, exactly. So this is actually where Jeff's going to get fired here for being late too many times, I believe.
This is how Dave Mustaine was kicked out of Metallica.
Yeah, you don't want to try to hit the manager of the band. Uh, Not a good move.
Yes, Blissful, exactly. I think they're from I think they're New England too. Extreme. I think they were from New England. I can't remember. Or at least one of them was.
Well, the good news is, TJ, I just took a peek at how many people we still got left in here. We haven't totally lost everybody.
Woo!
I'm sure some people kind of poked their head in here, so to speak, and then said, "What in the hell is this?" I truly do think that I'm the only person on the planet that likes this movie. It's becoming more and more apparent to me.
Another putting on your makeup scene. I mean, come on, seriously. They couldn't think of anything else.
There
It's
is
always
a
the same
lot
spot. It's always the same spot. It's always like the chin. What the hell is this?
of. I think there is a scene though where it might have been earlier, like near the beginning of the movie, where he actually has more of the makeup on, more of the stuff around the eye and everything, and the mouth.
I would have seen them putting on their leotard. Something. Come on, something different. How about those wigs? Those terrible fright wigs.
Yeah, Steve always makes fun of their wigs and their costumes. He said, "What in the hell is that?"
I mean, I guess their clown afro thing going on, but still, it's like okay. Are they recreating the was it Sistine Chapel with the? That's not it. With God and whoever.
So Jane thinks that Herb is a member of the band, and he doesn't, tell her any differently. So she's agreeing, after the concert to go out and have a cup of coffee or whatever with him.
If you were going to test out a knife, wouldn't you grab it and do it, not do that? That was so stupid.
That was a little goofy. TJ, really though, I do owe you something for doing this with me. That's going above and beyond, because nobody even wanted to touch this thing. I mean, Uncle Bill didn't show up.
Give me a gift card. That's funny.
Yeah, I could.
Give me that T-shirt.
Oh yeah,
Finally, they're putting makeup on in a different spot.
yeah. TJ definitely deserves something for doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the guy that says, Sergeant, I love homicide. Like they had him on leave or something. It was like, that's something else odd. Why would you put a new character in at this point in the movie?
Unless you're going to kill them off.
Yeah, and I don't think you ever see this guy again after this scene.
Like I love Friday the 13th Part 6, but when they add that random couple that get killed,
Oh,
having
yeah.
having a picnic at like 8 o'clock at night or whatever it made no sense.
Or he says, Lieutenant, I love homicide.
Ah,
I turned on these kind of clunky subtitles on YouTube.
yeah, I've been
They're not
following
really
them.
good, but
So she's
here's
the other
another.
girl that barely got established that they're gonna kill off.
Yeah, she's the drummer's girlfriend, Ralph's girlfriend. Oh, she's the one that says, "Ooh, let's get down, man." I think she says something like, "How do you like it, fast or slow?" It's like, did you take a Quaalude before you did this scene or what?
I love the noose just hanging there. That's fun.
And the look like somebody, massacred some poor animal and
Yeah, yeah.
spread blood all over the place.
She's not weirded out by this at all.
No, seems to turn her on actually.
Yeah, she's just kissed the noose. That's great. That bra does not fit her properly.
No, I don't think he's interested, honey. All he's doing is just staring at you. And then she does this thing all the time. It's like, what is that?
So the random piano that just pops up every couple of seconds. Do do do, dum dum, dee dee dee. Why get naked and then put the blanket on? That makes no sense.
Yeah, and I talked about this on one of the other commentaries. Those blankets look like those really itchy ones.
They look like they
That
have chiggers and, and lice. I wouldn't be wrapping myself in those blankets.
mm-mm. Oh, there she goes with like they ain't even having sex, and she's making the O face, and I don't know. He's got something for you,
A knife behind his back. Oh my
and
god.
and
He is
he's
going to kill her. Oh my god.
he's gonna shut her up. Thank God. Steve said something about coming on here, but he must have went. He must have said, "Screw it, I'm going to bed."
He thought better of it.
He's like, "I done 3 damn commentaries for this movie." Maybe people will feel better tomorrow night when I do Almost Famous.
That's a good movie, at least.
Well, I didn't say all these movies I did, or I'm going to do watch alongs for, are good movies.
No, well, you know. Dead Pit are going to do Summer Party Massacre soon
Mm.
with Patreon guests.
Yep.
We love this band, I guess.
Poor Garrett. I wonder if he's recovered from the cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah, he's all right. He's doing okay. He
He's
did a
been doing.
stream the other day, and yeah,
He got checked out of the mental hospital, I guess.
yeah. I said, I'm glad you survived the cannibals. He's like, I was watching some of his videos earlier, like his older ones. I saw one with, I guess, his two members of his family, and they were watching old Christmas commercials,
Oh,
and they were eating the Thanksgiving dinner that Charlie Brown makes with Snoopy and the Thanksgiving special.
oh, wow, that's cool. I'll have to look that one up.
I think it's his family. I think he said that. I can't remember. Oh, she's dead. Oh my god. She's breathing too. Stop breathing when you're dead.
You can't breathe when you're dead.
Yes, when I get stabbed, I just stare at the person that stabbed me. I don't try to run away right away. There we go.
Nah, she's right.
So he's not one of the band members because they're on stage right now.
Right.
He's the manager guy.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, he is? Oh, okay.
You just guessing?
Yeah. Well, I just spoiled it for everybody in the chat who didn't watch this movie.
I don't. At this point, I don't think anybody's.
This isn't
I
like
don't even
Scream
know if we
6.
got anybody watching it with us. So, I mean, and I'm not mad. I'm just saying, I don't think anybody's watching it.
So he must have some amazing motive, I guess.
I think it's one of those kind of. I'll be honest. I think it's just a flimsy motive that the women are whores, so he's got to kill
I mean, come on. Even Jesus liked the whores. Come on.
them.
I was gonna say the one flaw of this movie, and then I was like, no, but I'm not. It's not one flaw. One of the flaws, it's like none of the band members are ever in danger, so it's like, what is the point of having the band as characters that I've never thought of them to be? In a horror movie, you should think everybody's gonna get killed at any point, not just
Right.
like a couple of the girls.
Because
Like even
I guess it doesn't follow Joe Bob's drive-in movie rules. Anybody can die at any moment, type of thing.
yeah, or make it believable that people are in danger.
I mean, I can't really tell anybody why I enjoy this movie. It's just, I mean, maybe it's nostalgia, because
Yeah.
the first time I discovered this movie, I was still living at home with my parents. I was pretty young still, yet probably in my 20s, maybe early to mid 20s. And I think it was probably when I was still doing the Yahoo auctions. And I just saw this VHS tape tear on tour. And I was like, oh, this is a slasher movie I haven't seen. And so I got it for a little bit of nothing. And I don't know, I've just liked it ever since. It's enjoyable to me, and maybe a lot of it is nostalgia.
Yeah, it's like comfort food.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can see that.
And maybe that's why, people like The Forest. Maybe that's why you like The Forest. Maybe that's why CK likes The Forest. Maybe that's comfort food for you guys.
I mean, I like incredibly strange creatures who stopped living and became mix-up zombies, and no one likes that movie. So
I don't know. I've heard of that one, but I don't know if that's one I've seen.
I first saw it on Mystery Science, and then I bought the actual movie, and like, I don't know. I liked it.
I think
It's terrible, but I liked it.
I think truth be told, there all of us that like horror movies, and I say, this could apply to to comedies and dramas and stuff like that, but I think it primarily applies to horror movies because literally there are so many bad horror movies that I think every one of us that watches these types of films or has
Yeah.
watched a lot of these is going to inevitably like at least one that it seems like nobody else but them likes.
This is a good song. I like this song.
I mean, I think there's some good songs on here.
I missed the
Don't
first one because I didn't have my headphones on. I couldn't hear it.
don't ask Steve about the music because he thinks the music sucks on this movie.
This might be a banger. I don't know. I saw somebody do. She did a reaction to Pee Wee's Big Adventure, and she didn't like the movie at all. And I was like, I mean, she thought she laughed at a certain scenes, but she didn't like the movie. And I was like, really? And this person was like, well, I don't know if Pee Wee is supposed to be a kid or an adult who thinks they're a kid. And I'm like, if that's the main thing that you're worried about during the movie, then you're never gonna like it because you don't.
Oh, exactly.
You're
Yeah.
not even understanding it. Just like kind of going for the ride of Pee Wee Herman's comedy, but like
So was this person, were they a younger generation
they're
person?
they're a millennial who likes
Oh,
watching.
okay. Got it. That makes a lot of sense.
Like I watch a lot of her stuff, and I agree with a lot of things she says. But like once in a while,
Hmm.
she'll say something like, "Really?" Like she didn't like ET because she just didn't.
Wow.
She didn't relate to the ET. She just kind of thought it was like an ugly, like weird creature. Like, and
I love
everybody who
ET.
thinks ET is cute likes the movie. But if you don't like ET, you can't like this. It's hard to like that movie.
Well, I've told people about my cousin Heather who is terrified of ET. And she's been terrified of ET since she saw it for the first time. And so if she comes to visit me, still yet, I have a little plush ET that I got was one of the Blu-ray or DVD sets or whatever that I got. I have to hide that sucker if she's
Really.
going to come visit me because she's terrified. She's terrified of ET.
We had that girl stomping bugs again on the stage.
So
Right,
people
she's still
might
being
have
chased.
people might have missed it, but Lambert, the cop, just got stabbed and killed, and Jane is going to find his body here. She is not real good at acting injured.
She's not a good final girl.
Well,
Uh, that was a member of the band, right? I don't even know. No, they're on
no,
stage
no,
still.
I
Oh.
think that might have been. Yeah, that was the killer. Yeah.
So why was he walking like do do do? He's on lunch break from killing, right? A couple of minutes.
Yeah, his blood sugar was getting low. He had to go get
His
something.
blood sugar is getting. He eats a Snickers.
To eat. Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
the Snicker commercial was it Snickers where they like
Yeah.
they're listful and tired, and then they have a Snicker and they turn into like
I
Thor from the.
use that analogy a lot when I'm talking to people about rebooting their computers.
Uh huh.
Because I say, the computer doesn't eat Snicker bars, but I said, that commercial where the people are just blah, it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and they
Yeah.
eat a Snicker bar and they're like, woo, I got some extra energy. And people understand that because that's not getting too technical.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to use that a lot as a way to illustrate the importance of like, I recommend people restart their computers at least once a day.
Did you turn it on and off?
Yeah, exactly. Just I
Have you
love
ever
the
seen that
IT
British show,
crowd.
The IT Crowd? Have you ever seen that?
Yes,
Yeah, that's yeah.
I own that entire series. I love it so much.
I have a friend who's a physicist and he hates the Big Bang Theory because he's like, yeah, I went to school and that was me. I don't need to watch the show. But IT people are different. They want to watch shows about that.
Oh my gosh, when I first heard that one guy say, did you turn it off and turn it back on? I just was laughing.
This guy I barely knew is dead. No.
Lambert is dead, honey. He ain't coming back to life.
He's the Lambert to the slaughter.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I'm drinking wine. So.
That's okay.
It's
Whatever gets you through this movie. She ain't gonna know how to use that gun properly.
Oh, well, come on. She's
damn.
Like, oh, no.
So she's not going to be a final girl. So this is where you kind of sort of see who the killer is.
I mean, if we could, if this was a better version of the movie.
You're supposed to have that aha moment. It's the manager.
Well, I already guessed that, so
You're ahead of the game, TJ.
Yeah, I wasn't even. That was like I pulled that out of my ass. Well, right before I went to the movies to see Scream 6, I said, well, spoiler, I said it's gonna be a family member or family members who are the killer in this movie. I just felt it, and then when I saw the reveal at the end, I was like, damned if I wasn't finally right about one of these damn movies.
I just think that for those of us that have seen a lot of these movies, like me and you and a lot of these other people that come to my streams and stuff, have seen so many of these damn slasher movies that, I mean, I'm not trying to be cocky or anything, but I can pretty much, the majority of them now, figure out who the killer is. And I hate it that I can do that.
Yeah. She breathed. She keeps moving, this girl. I swear to God.
So that is Herb in the makeup there, in case you didn't figure that out. But
yeah.
Zoe, don't scratch, baby. Zoe's been having some itchy skin, and she's been scratching herself and making her skin red.
Zoe Deschanel? Is that what you named him after?
Actually, she's named after Zoe Bell.
Oh, okay. That would have been my second guess. The two Zoes I know.
So here's where he's kind of giving his motive. I mean, it's tissue paper thin, I know, but
it's the Norman Bates, Mrs. Bates, killed all those people because they were whores. They're whores, Norman. Jess from Black Christmas is Norman's mother.
Yep. So the manager thinks that he's got a kindred spirit, or he did think he had a kindred spirit with Herb, but he's going to figure out that, Herb's not on the train. He's not on the same train.
Herb is off the rails.
So he goes in and he didn't just say they're whores, but that he says that these women have no right to bear children. So he kind of expands on it. He says they have no right to bear children that'll see the filth that they live in.
So that letter from the mother, is that supposed to be, that's his mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she taught him to hate women. Is that what we're going for in this?
I think so, that all women are bad and dirty and whores. And
look at me putting things together.
And he's going on about they have no moral values. He thought that Herb was going to help him. Like they could team up and kill all the women, but Herb's like, hell no, I ain't doing that.
I guess he kicked him. I couldn't
this
tell.
This line is great. Why did you do that, Herb? He screams it out.
Why'd you do that, Herb?
we officially have 3 minutes left in this film, guys and
Oh,
gals.
thank God.
We're coming on the final scenes here. So he just stabbed Herb there, and I don't know if that's a mortal kill. And then of course he
He
leaps
thinks he can
down.
fly.
We're gonna get this final shot that's probably gonna crack TJ and everybody else up, whoever's watching this, anyway. Um,
Okay,
because
let's see
this
this.
final shot is just crazy. So there's Herb staggering around on the stage. The band's shocked. And he collapses, and
Did
then
he faint? What is that?
yeah, I don't think that, but this might be the end of Herb here. Here we go. Great final shot, Larry Thomas.
So it ends there.
Yeah.
So they're going to think he killed everybody and he's going to go to jail for the rest of his life. Well, what a happy ending. So did the girl die?
Yeah, I believe that Jane died.
Well.
So you have free base chick, you have mod boy, mod girl, screaming girl, well endowed lady. I love the way they describe these people: bleeding woman, silent girl, girl with pigtails, girl in the alley, dead victim, and Sandy Cobb is the theater manager.
I don't think I'll ever recover, Blissful. I don't think I'm ever going to recover from this movie.
Buck Flower was actually a production manager on this.
No kidding. I was like, I didn't see him in this movie. He should have been in it. That would have made it fun.
It probably would have made it better, actually.
I was watching a YouTuber watch Wishmaster, and I was like, oh yeah, Buck Flower's in this too. He's playing the same character he plays in every movie. The bum.
The bum or
My
whatever.
favorite character is his sorority babes character. That's what I like. Well, it's an imp.
I love Buck Flower though. He was always great.
I don't know, Super Batman nerd. Having not see the killer for the whole movie and then have them show up at the end, I think that's kind of cheating in a horror movie. That's supposed to be a mystery, especially.
So I'm kind of looking through. I don't think people were talking a lot because they probably took one look at this movie and said, "What the hell?"
Blissful is in here because I think she feels obligated.
Blissful's. I think of Blissful.
She's a trooper. I like her.
Number one. She's my number one fan. You know.
She's your Annie Wilkes.
Well,
don't ever kill Misery, or she'll get you. But other than that.
So I'm going back up here because I didn't really get to because I was trying to concentrate on the movie, and of course Uncle Bill never showed his candy ass in here. So he's gonna be on my.
I love your challenge video in the cartoon is like.
Yeah, I wanted to use something funny for that.
Because I'm like, is that her challenge face? Is that?
Nah, I should have put something else, but I was trying to be.
It was funny. I liked it. It was when I was like,
Did you
what
like
is she going for here? Well, I got to take these headphones off because they're annoying the crap
okay.
out of me.
So I'm going to go through these so people don't feel like they're slighted. I know TJ was helping me keep up with the chat, but Blissful did say at 7:32, TJ is going to go all Mystery Science Theater 3000. I have a feeling, LOL. Coco did say she didn't see Terror on Tour on YouTube. I'm sorry I didn't see that earlier, Coco. I would have put the link back in there. And Brian's already left, but he did bring flowers from me and Blissful. And Brian's already left, but he did bring flowers. Oh Lord, I'm hearing my voice. That's okay, TJ. But I was like, what in the world? That's weird. Okay. Brian did say Evil Dead Chick. Hey, don't know if you saw, but YouTube has a lot of horror movies for free that you can play on your live stream so your viewers can actually watch along. And I don't know. I don't want to play that game, honestly. I mean, I know Brian's not in here, but I just play it safe because the few times I have tried to show even little snippets of things, guess what? It might not get a copyright strike, but it'll damn sure get a content claim.
Yeah,
And so,
don't risk that.
yeah, and I don't want to risk it, but I mean, it's a good idea in theory. Um, Coco said, I can click the link on my phone, but not on the TV. I don't know. I saw the band, which reminded me of At the Drive-In. Is that a band at the drive-in? If it is, I
I've
don't
never
know.
heard of them.
Uh,
Yeah, they don't dress up as clowns. I don't see the. One of them has big hair. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Blissful said, "Oh my God, I heard zipping his fly." Then what is he talking? Uh, and then Brian left at like 7:58. Oh gosh, Blissful wanted to know where can I see Drunk Dana. Uh,
It's not. Isn't that on Patreon now? That video.
it probably is on Patreon. So if you're a member of Dead Pit Patreon, Blissful, it should be on there. Some of these things, I'm not trying to like piss CK off or anything, but eventually I want to add the commentaries that me and Steve have done in the past on my channel. I won't be able to have the movies on there, of course, but I'll have some kind of static picture or something silly of me and Steve or something. And then if you have the movie or can get the movie, then you can watch along and listen to the commentary yourself. Daniel did say Cobweb was fun and creepy.
Yeah, I got two people that say that. Well, three people that say that's a good movie. I gotta check that out. Cowboy.
Blissful said at 8:35, Dana, the viewer count just spiked from that tone of voice. I don't know what tone of voice I was doing.
What
Like,
tone?
at 8:35, I can't remember now. Blissful did say Steve is hiding in the fetal position. He probably is.
I think later I'm gonna check Screenbox and see if there's a good movie to
Well,
watch
shit, my
to
mouse.
clean my palate. The sexy tone. Who had a sexy tone?
I've got to get my mouse hooked up here because it just went dead on me.
It's funny. I took my headphone jack out and
Or
my
maybe
audio
not.
wasn't working.
Hold on here. Well,
You have no mouse now?
I may have to hook the other one back up real quick, the ergonomic mouse, because I don't know what's going on with that thing. Hold on.
Uncle Bill gets a new computer and yours is fucking up.
Well, not the computer, but just the mouse.
Wow.
I think the battery's just dead. I just need to charge it. Shit. Trying to. Hopefully, I won't mess anything up using my new mouse because I've been practicing with it. But let's see. Oh, dang! It'd help if you turn it on, dummy. Okay, there we go. now we're getting somewhere. Okay, let's see.
By the way, we're talking about Terrifier 2 and you were saying how it's overly gory. That one kill with the girl in the house, that kind of went a little. That kind of.
Are you talking about the one where he ended up like pouring salt in the wounds?
Which I thought was funny. I love that, like pouring salt in the wounds and the alcohol. I was like, oh, that's hilarious. I love that.
Yeah,
part.
I'm glad you caught that because I don't think Steve caught that, and some other people didn't catch that. I'm like, he put alcohol on it, and then he put salt on it, and everybody's like,
or vinegar.
Oh.
I think it was vinegar, but yeah, yeah.
Well, whatever. Maybe, it's gonna sting.
Maybe the kids don't get that. They don't know that whole reference to rubbing salt in the wounds.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
I was like, that girl is surviving this whole ordeal. Even when the mother comes in, she's like, "Mom," and
yeah,
like have
she
her.
still is like, what the heck?
So if that's what you're talking about going overboard, I was like, yeah. I mean, I was the humor of it with the rubbing the salt. I was like, oh, that makes up for the overkill, maybe.
And
So
I'll be totally honest. Maybe I just need to give myself a little bit of time. Maybe it's one of those movies I need to give myself a little bit of time and then try to watch it again.
oh, I definitely want to watch it again. I want to watch that with a group of people. That's a good group movie.
Blissful did say, I always found duct tape to shut people up, non-violence and all.
It
Blissful,
works.
I haven't tried to put cornstarch on Zoe's irritated skin. I assume that's
Ah,
what you're talking about. But I do have some medicated spray that I've been putting on her. And I also gave her a nice oatmeal shampoo bath the other day, which seemed to
uh,
soothe her as well. Her skin looks a lot better than it did.
mhm.
Uh, Super Batman Nerd said, an interesting idea for a scream. Make the killer not seen throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, that's why I say that's kind of a cheat,
Mhm.
especially like you just make them pop up like the character you haven't seen before. Like, not at least not in the Scream series. I could see that as a standalone movie situation where you do that, but not when we're like expecting. But then again, who knows if the new Scream is going to be like, oh, we're going to finally do something that's not expected
Mhm.
with the Happy Death Day director taking over.
Oh, so Blissful did say sexy tone. I didn't know I
Yeah,
had a
she's,
sexy tone, but I didn't think I was sexy at all. But thank you anyway.
oh, she
Blissful
was
says
referring to me. I don't know. No.
could have been TJ with his sexy wine drinking. I've got a glass that's almost just like that I got at Walmart years ago.
Yeah, I got these like a bunch of years ago from like a friend. It's like, oh, here, they look like it's blood. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Blissful did say cooking would go faster if I remember to turn the oven on.
Oh,
Oh,
during the whole movie, it's
I can't even begin to tell you, Blissful, how many times I've either forgot to turn on the burner or turn on the oven, and then I'm like, "You big dummy!" I'm not calling Blissful a dummy, but I call myself a dummy. It's like, how you expect it to cook if you don't turn it on?
I mean,
And then there've been a couple of times when I forgot to turn the burner off and went back in the kitchen and it's blazing red on there. And it's like, damn, you want to burn the whole house down? Just keep it up.
I love that on cooking shows where they're like, I forgot to turn on the oven, and there's like 20 minutes before the buzzer goes up.
Right. So we can officially say, I aren't you guys proud of me? I kept this damn hat on the whole
Round of
time.
applause.
I was
Applause.
burning up at some points, but this has become part of my brand. I noticed, um, and I don't know and I'm not saying that I'm mad at Rob or anything, but I put pictures of my jacket on my Deadites on Deck Facebook page, and I said another part of my brand, and like so. Rob put the laughing emoji, and Rob, if you see this, if you want to answer me or whatever, I'm not pissed off. I'm just a little confused because I don't know if he put the laughing emoji because he was making fun of what I was saying, or he meant to put the laughing emoji at what Wes said underneath of it, or CK, because he said Steve needed a matching jacket like that, and that was funny. The thought of Steve having a pink and white jacket matching mine is just funny. So I'm just a little confused about that. But people may think I'm stupid for trying to build a brand. I don't know. I'm not saying again, I'm not saying that's what Rob was thinking. I'm just saying people might think, well, who are you? Why are you trying to build a brand? You're not Dead Pit. You're not Garrett. You're not any of these
Hey, you
other
got to
people.
start somewhere. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I
But
finally broke 160 on my TikTok. So I'm very happy about that.
that's good.
So I see people have like 1,000, and I'm like, and they don't even have a good page. I'm like, how do they get 1,000? What did they do? I gotta show my butt. What I gotta do?
And Blissful brings up a good point, which I hadn't really thought of, but it's perfectly viable.
Yeah.
Um, she says, "Oh, I did the laughing emoji by accident once for my friend's new song release. I meant to love it." So yeah, that's another possibility. Maybe he was really tired at night or something, and just clicked the wrong one. Well, thank you, Rooster. I'm going to put this up here because that was nice to say. You have a great brand, Dana. I've told people this before, and I've said it many times on many different streams. I have, there's people that have low self confidence. This gal has zero self confidence, and so I
Now
guess
don't think that way. Stop it.
well, I think that's why when I see things like a laughing emoji, I don't think that it could have been a mistake or could have been put in the wrong spot or something like that. I automatically think, oh, they're making fun of me, saying, who the hell you think you are, Dana? What kind of brand do you have? That's automatically what I think in my brain, and that might not be true at all. So, but not to bring up dirty laundry again, but I still feel like there are some people, and I'm not going to mention who, because I don't want to create any more drama than has already been created by the situation. But because I don't like drama, to be honest, I want to get on here and have fun. But there was something that happened a few months back where there was some blocking going on. And I think some people got upset with the decision I made. And that's all I'm going to say about it. And it hurts that I believe that these people think that I did something completely out of line. It was uncalled for or whatever. But you have to make the best choices for your channel. And I'm not going to go blocking everybody. I'm not going to say, oh, TJ, you said something I didn't like. Bam, you're gone. I'm not going to do, I'm not going to do that. But the people that I did end up blocking, they had just overstepped their bounds one too many times. And again, that's all I'm going to say about it. And we'll just move on from there because I don't want drama on my channel. Uh, well, Unseen, thank you. You say you are you, and that's enough. Yeah, I never try to be anybody other than myself, and people might not like that. They may think that you need to be this. I don't know if you would call it a caricature of yourself, or be overblown if that's in entertaining. But when I get on here, I just try to be Dana. I'm the Evil Dead chick on here. That's my screen name. But I'm just Dana. I'm just some girl or woman out of many, many other women out there on the planet that likes horror movies. And I just enjoy getting on here and talking about them. I don't have any illusions that I'm going to be able to quit my job and be able to do this full time. That ain't happening. That ain't never going to happen. But it's been a fun ride so far, and I'm just going to ride this train as long as people keep letting me board the train, I guess. And when they kick me off of it and say your round trip is over, or your one-way trip is over or whatever, then I'll call it quits. But I'm going to have fun on here as long as I can.
Enjoy your midnight trip to Georgia.
uh, Yeah, Rooster, I agree. Emotion is really hard to convey with texting. It definitely is. Um, and Rooster likes fun too. Well, I want to keep this fun, as much fun as we possibly can. Um, but I'm
Mhm.
sure that with all that being said, I'm sure TJ is like, I got to go and cleanse my brain after watching that terrible movie.
I found a good movie. Well, a movie that I like the description on Screenbox. It's called Creepy Pasta that came out last year. I want to check this out.
I think I heard of that.
It's an
Yeah, but
anthology. It looks interesting, at least as far as the concept idea of a creepy pasta movie.
I don't even have Screenbox. We've got Shutter and stuff like that. I guess Steve thinks we don't need to be paying for anything else, but don't
Well,
you have to pay for Screenbox? Isn't that
it's not. It's like $5 a month or something like that. It's
is
not
it?
really.
It's
Yeah,
not bad.
and they got they have like specific like movies just on like Scream. Terrifier 2 is on Screenbox exclusively, I think. So
Okay.
and it's got a they're newer, so they don't have as much built up, but they have a lot of they got a lot of the newer stuff that comes out, and they get some older TVs. They got like a few movie macabres on here, the older ones. And,
Damn, I got 11, or we got 11 people in here now, and I'm getting ready to get off here. I always feel bad when, the number spike right when you're getting off there, but, you
yeah.
know, it, it is 9:15, and I know that TJ wants to, get his brain rearranged and forget about this, and he
I
wants to
mean, I
watch.
forgot about it already.
Um,
I've ringed it out of my mind. It's already like
it's
it's
Blissel says fun is great. Um, but I just want to remind everybody that tomorrow night is going to be, for most of you, or for all of you probably, it's going to be a lot more enjoyable movie,
woo.
because we will be watching Almost Famous.
Yeah,
And so, again, anybody that wants to join me live on the stream for that and has the time, I would love to have you on here. Um, Blissful and Unseen are watching The Bear. Such a good show. Yeah, you probably
uh,
had to watch something else on this movie, Blissful. But I'm glad that you guys were here for emotional support and all that. And I'm glad TJ was here for emotional support too, because I know this is a hard movie for almost everybody, I think, except for me, to like, and to sit through. It's very hard for most people to sit through. So I ain't gonna lie. So for those of you that were in here, um, TJ, I appreciate y'all so much. And I promise I won't cancel this coming week unless I'm bedridden or dead, TJ. So if
I don't
if
know,
it's
blissful.
not one of
I'm trying to get over it. It's
Blissful's asking if you're okay.
it's
Well,
not as
thank
bad
you.
as Shelby driving nails into her arms.
Mm.
That is a movie reference. I don't know if anybody got that, but
Blissful says it was a great live. Well, thank you, Blissful, for saying that. But
I drank my way through it. I'm good.
yeah, now he's gonna watch Creepy Pasta, and that's gonna be real good. So,
Hopefully, it's not shitty.
well, you let me know, because if it's good, if you think it's good, I might try watching it.
You know what? Next watch along, I should force you to watch one of my shorts that's on YouTube, and we should all watch it together.
That wouldn't be forcing me,
And then you
TJ.
can tell me how terrible of a director I am or
You
actor.
know me. I've always said the shorts that I've seen that you've done have all been great. I love them. I love what you do with, like, I've said it before. You
No
can
money
do you can do with, yeah, no money
in
or
my
very
house.
little money, and you can do like amazing stuff with this short amount of time that people that get 2.5, 3 hours can't do. So, that's, and I'm not trying to like blow smoke up your butt or anything, TJ. It's what I really think about it.
I mean, I didn't sugarcoat how I felt about Terror Tour. So it's.
So Bliss will agree, see. But on that note, I think it's time to get out of here for the night. So, as I always say, I'm going to skedaddle on out of here for the night. And I will see everyone on the flip side, which will, of course, be tomorrow night, 7 p.m.
Cheers.
Eastern Time. TJ says cheers for Almost Famous. I'm going to try to find a copy for you guys and gals to watch, but I don't know about that one, if I'm going to be able to find a for free one or not, but I'll try my best. I, of course, will be, I've only got the 4K, so I'm going to steal Steve's Blu-ray tomorrow night. So until next time, guys and gals, I will see you. Have a good night. Have a good night, TJ.
You too. Hasta luego.
Bye, everybody.